Hey folks, this is Hacksaw Jim Duggan, and you're watching WGS-TV. Tough guy.
Hello everyone, welcome to another installment of WGS-TV right here on YouTube.com/WrestleGamer and ZFX-TV. Guys and gals, don't forget WGS-TV can be heard on Spreaker and SoundCloud as well. And this is going to be the TLC Tables, Ladders, Chairs, and Stairs review. And before we go any further, I'm going to give an overall summary of my opinion here because it was just yesterday. Before the show even started, I said it on the preview. I said it on Facebook that WWE's main roster, after the huge success, and everyone agrees that NXT TakeOver Revolution was an amazing show, and they did an amazing job with that. That the WWE's main roster needed to step up. They needed to prove why they're on the main roster. You know, why they proved that they're the ones that deserve to be there, and why the NXT guys are the NXT guys. And needless to say, the NXT guys just outshined and outclassed the main roster, especially from the pile of garbage that WWE put out there for tables, ladders, chairs, and stairs. Now, they got people out there saying, oh, we don't watch NXT. NXT is the developmental brand. We don't want to do that, and so on and so forth. That's coming from people who are not willing to sit down and give NXT a chance, not willing to give NXT a shot in the dark at watching it. And I promise you, even said it on the TakeOver Revolution review. Whatever they're doing in NXT, they're doing it right. And whatever they're doing right now on the main roster just flat out sucks. Let's get to the review of the pay-per-view, guys and gals. And joining me on the panel for this week's for this review, ladies and gentlemen, first off, from YouTube.com/LanceMossTV, he is the incomparable Lance Moss. Lance, how you doing?
Yeah, I mean, like you said, and this is my personal thoughts, I heard last night that NXT Revolution, whatever you want to call that, last Thursday night, was supposed to light a fire under the main roster's asses. If that was them getting a fire lit on their asses, the main roster is screwed.
I wonder if someone lit they may have lit that fire, but I wonder if somebody had farted on that match they were supposedly lighting the fire underneath their asses for. Ladies and gentlemen, he is the host of Hardcore Wrestling Radio. He is the hardcore one himself, Rickhead. Rick, after that dismal show last night, how you doing?
I'm doing all right, but that was not a fire under my ass. That was the Mexican food I ate last night.
Yeah, well, you guys and gals, now you kind of get a glimpse of why he is the hardcore one for Hardcore Wrestling Radio. And ladies and gentlemen, from the Houdat Temple over on iVlog, he is James from the Big Easy. And James, how you doing?
It was TLC, tables, ladders, chairs, stairs, slammies, rails, hairspray, candlesticks, and TVs. What the hell, man?
And don't forget to include snores as well, because that show really, like I said, did not measure up to NXT TakeOver Revolution like they were supposed to.
As we said before, really, it's that NXT and WWE is run by two different people. NXT's Triple H, main roster is Vince McMahon. Who has a better idea right now?
I would say Triple H.
Mm-hmm. I concur.
Yep, hands down. The kickoff show, the New Day in the form of Big E and Kofi Kingston taking on Golden Stardust. Not really much to say about that one. They do give a name to that finisher, that double big ending, to kind of say it, where Kofi jumps off the top rope and kind of pushes down while Big E does the big ending. They're calling it the Midnight Hour. And they hit that on Stardust to pick up the win, who looked like, I'll even say it on commentary because they said it on there. I'll say it on here. He said it looked like the I'm trying to remember that green dude from the Flintstones, the Great Gazoo. That's what it looked like, and I don't know who's telling Cody Rhodes to do that, or if he's doing that himself. But he needs to get off the acid. That's all I'm saying. I mean, it really did not look normal. But then again, I don't think they really are supposed to be normal in a sense. But
Well, you know what? Good, because for a second I thought I took too much fuck it all.
well, anyway, they open up the pay-per-view with the Intercontinental Championship ladder match with Luke Harper taking on Dolph Ziggler, and I thought, you know, on paper, that's a kick-ass way to start the show. Because, again, whenever we see Dolph Ziggler in a ring with someone, he makes them look that much better. And we can cite example after example. Now, this matchup was filled with a lot of insane spots, Rick. I mean, we saw gash after gash on Luke Harper's arm, and how in the world did he not break his arm on that diving spot to the outside when he got his arm caught in the ladder on the way down? I mean, I have to say, got extremely lucky that he didn't break his arm in half.
Yeah, I have to admit that was a really nasty spot, even Ziggler got a few bad spots. He had a few, spots on the side of his ribs, and when he did that flip flop on the ropes with the ladder, he got busted wide open. I was like, holy shit, that was ugly. But yeah, a lot of spots in this match, and just incredible.
Now, it did go the way I figured it would go. Now, with Dolph Ziggler regaining the Intercontinental Champion. Now, as far as what they might do with Luke Harper, it was something I said on the preview. If they start building a feud between Harper and Rowan, ex-members of the Wyatt family, they wouldn't need the Continental Championship to sustain that feud, in my opinion. And lo and behold, they took the title off of Harper. Now, will they put him in a feud with Erick Rowan? Only time can tell. Only time can tell. But I thought it was a good way to start off the TLC pay-per-view. The Tag Team Championship on the line. After that, Damien, Mizdow, and The Miz taking on the Usos. I'm just thinking about all the crap that Damien Mizdow did on the ring apron Lance during that match, especially after all the roll-ups he would get on his back, put his ass up in the air and put his legs up like he was being pinned. I couldn't help but laugh at that, man. I thought that was funny.
Yeah, I mean, let's face it. Damien Mizdow was insane. He's not doing his job. He's a stunt double, not a mimic.
Yeah, but they said it's like method acting or something like that.
Yeah, I'm guessing some method acting.
Oh my God! But surprisingly, it kind of went, because I kind of picked them to retain the championship, and they kind of did in a sense. They lost the match, but they still retained the championship. Yeah. So technically, I think that's a point for me, James. Wouldn't you call that a point for me?
It's half a point because the Usos won, but they still have the title, so you get half a point.
Okay, so, but the matchup in itself, it was okay. The first ever steel stairs match, Big Show and Erick Rowan. There was a lot of speculation as to how they would work this match, because this is the first of its kind. There's never been a stairs match before, so there's really nothing to kind of base the match on. They've never worked a stairs match before. There's never been a promotion in the United States or anywhere, as far as I know, that has ever done a steel stairs match. So this was a first for the wrestling industry to work a steel stairs match. Now, could this match have been better, James, than the way it went?
Well, me, Rick, and Lance was talking about this last night, and we were talking about this, and it could be a little better, but what can you really do because you're limited with stairs?
Yeah, exactly. Now, it was an innovative idea by WWE Creative to start a steel stairs match, but there's one thing to put it down on paper, and then there's another thing to actually properly apply it. And I think that's where that rule kind of comes into effect. You know, it looked good on paper, but to actually apply it and make it look good, it was just another thing. I mean, again, it's just something that, you know, they tried, and you know what, I'm going to give them an A for effort, because at least they had the idea to try something new. You know, because a lot of people have been saying, oh, when is WWE going to try something new? When they're going to do a new concept, a new gimmick? And, well, the stairs match kind of qualifies for that, guys. And, you know, I'm going to give them an A for effort because they tried to do it. Now, was it properly done? You know, this was the first ever steel stairs match of any kind. So I think, Rick, it would be kind of harsh for us to kind of pass judgment on the first match of its kind without seeing anything else from another steel stairs match.
Well, okay, I will grant you that, yes, it was the first of its kind, and I guess A for effort is granted. But for me, you know, after about, you know, 4 or 5 minutes, or like 3 or 4 minutes into this match, I started falling asleep. Yeah, these two juggernauts were swinging these things around like they were golf clubs, which in that alone was impressive. But after that, what else can you do with it? Like you said, I mean, it's just, you know, I was like, okay, let's just get this match over. Once the match was over, it was kind of like a ho-hum feeling for me. And again, you know, like you say, we could just be, as fans, we may be a little too harsh, but you can't help but feeling the way you feel.
Exactly. So I think if they decide to bring this gimmick back on next year's TLC and redo it again, they have something to, you know, base the work off of. You know, they could take a look at it and maybe come up with a few more different ideas when it comes to using a stair match. Maybe some. Now, we did see a little innovation out of there. You know, they were wedging the steel stairs in between the top and the bottom ropes, kind of like it was a chair, and that was something we haven't seen before when it comes to the usage of the stairs. But maybe next year, now that they have something to base the match off of, you know, and go back and look at it and said, oh, that didn't work, but maybe this could work. And look at another spot and say, oh, that spot didn't work, but maybe this could work. You know, if they could work on it and try to improve the stairs match gimmick, it could work for WWE, but they need to work on it. As far as
I agree with you, you know, and I think this is why they should have NXT be doing these type of innovative matches, because, you know, let's be realistic, you know, they are the development unit side of the WWE. This is where they need to say, okay, guys, you know what, we have a match we want you to try out. Try this type of match. And if it works, it works, and if it flops, it flops. But WWE doesn't want to try that. They don't want to give them anything, because God forbid, if it goes over the top, oh, wait a minute, hold on, that was the first one ever, and NXT did it? Holy shit, how dare we? You know what I mean?
Yeah, I definitely agree with you on that one. The tables match was up next, Seth Rollins and John Cena. And the first thought that came to everyone's mind is, holy crap, John Cena's not main eventing a pay-per-view. Oh, call the police. Call the wrestling police. John Cena's not main eventing it. Now, I respect John Cena. Hold on. I'm not going to flat out bash him. I'm not going to say bad stuff about him. I'm not going to blindly hate him like other people are. But I do agree with the sentiment that John Cena does not need to main event every pay-per-view for WWE, because it gives the chance for the other talent in WWE to have the spotlight, have it shine on them, and put on an amazing match. Now, I
disagree.
Well, why do you say that?
Because it's John Cena. Hey, go ahead, I'm fucking with you. I was just trying to be funny.
Please don't. Anyway, that's that drug you take. No, never mind. Anyway, one of the reasons why I first had pegged this to be the main event was the fact that, you know, there were several stipulations. One, it's the names involved, John Cena and Seth Rollins, and two, the stipulation of the tables match that if John Cena loses, he loses the #1 contendership for the WWE World Heavyweight Championship. And somebody even brought this up to my attention on the Facebook page last night, that the WWE World Heavyweight Championship, having a match contested where the WWE World Heavyweight Championship match would would be involved in it in some form or some facet, it just kind of loses its meaning because we haven't seen the WWE World Heavyweight Champion in 4 months. But that's what the blindly ignorant haters out there wanted. They wanted a product and a show with no world champion for over 4 months. No appearance by a champion, by the champion, until the Royal Rumble. And now they're starting to complain about it. But hey, that's what you guys wanted at SummerSlam. That's what you guys wanted at Night of Champions. You got what you wanted. Now you don't like it anymore. Now I think you should look in the mirror and look at yourself and say, I think we made the wrong choice there. And I think they did. But anyway, to the tables match, the other reason I thought this would be main event is the fact that it was heavily rumored that Randy Orton would return to bite Seth Rollins in the butt and cost him the match. Now, there was a return, Lance, but it wasn't Randy Orton. It was Roman Reigns.
Oh, believe that.
Yeah, your thoughts on that?
Well, but I'm actually happy it wasn't the main event because, like I said in the review, in the preview, it just would not have made sense. Because of things called tables, ladders, and chairs, not tables. And, well, we kind of saw a little bit of Roman Reigns' return Monday, so it had took a little bit of the shock value out of it, which they could have done a little bit better than that. Because, oh shit, he's back.
Now, if it was really Randy Orton, would that be more of a shock value than Roman Reigns returning?
I'm tempted to say not really because of the way everybody had been saying, "Oh, he's coming back tonight. He's coming back tonight. He's coming back tonight." Now, if it would have come out like an RKO out of nowhere, that would have been something different. So I would say maybe a little bit better, little bit.
Possibly, but Roman. To explain to everybody, if you didn't watch the show, and if you didn't watch the show, you didn't miss much. But anyway, Big Show would come in to run interference, start attacking John Cena. Then Roman Reigns would come in, spear Big Show through a table, hit the Superman punch on Seth Rollins, which led to John Cena hitting the attitude adjustment to Seth Rollins through a table and picking up the win. Following this match, we would have the Divas Championship match, Nikki Bella and AJ Lee. James, why did this match suck?
The fact that we have hairspray involved, that's why. Here's your main thing. This proves that Nikki Bella cannot win on her own. She has to cheat to win. Well, also the fact this was predictable. That's the main thing. We all knew that Nikki Bella was going to win. Now, here's where we bring up the monthly "is AJ Lee leaving" rumor. I'm kind of on the fence right now. I'm just doing a wait and see now. And now they did an injury update on AJ. The whole fact they had to flush her eye out because of the spray.
And it was chemical conjunctivitis or something they said, or something like that.
Yeah, so it won't have permanent damage on the eyes. But also, here's your main thing: it's the Bellas. We don't care. Yeah.
Well, I think John Cena and Daniel Bryan care, if you think about it.
But do the fans care? No, not really. And I just don't know why they put the title, but that's what it is. That's what we have to live with.
I wonder if AJ Lee's statement about talent not being sexually transmitted holds any merit. Anyway.
Can I say something about that?
Go ahead.
If it was sexually transmitted, Eva Marie would be the best diva in the roster.
Oh, yeah, you got a point there. You definitely got a point there. This year's chairs match featured Ryback and Kane. And harken back to what I said, the build-up, not very strong. The matchup in itself, it was two big guys swinging chairs. It was no different, or in my mind, no better than the steel stairs match because we had two big guys wielding stairs. And the finish Now, if they would have incorporated some usage of the chair, Rick, in the finish, like possibly Ryback hitting the shell shock on the chair to Kane, then I would think, you know what, that was an innovative way, you know, and it was a way to use the chair and keep the gimmick in the match. Instead, they didn't do that. They just used a regular move to finish off the match and get the win. And this chairs match, in my mind, Rick, just kind of fell flat.
Yeah, I'm sorry, but CM Punk's quote was a lot more, "I'm dumb as fuck. I'm sorry." Was more memorable than this match. Sorry.
Yeah.
You know, this match was just terrible. I hate chairs matches. I always have. They have very rarely good spots. There's no real good purpose to them. I understand the TLC is you have to have a chairs match, but it's just nope. So yeah.
Now, backstage, Roman Reigns would be interviewed, and besides botching his promo in a sense, and it almost looked like he froze because he was just like that. He would make the announcement that he would be in this year's Royal Rumble match. Now, no matter what the year is, the Royal Rumble has always been one of my favorite pay-per-views to watch because of the fact that I love the Royal Rumble match. It's always unpredictable. It's always entertaining. And whenever you see Kofi Kingston in a Royal Rumble match, it is always something to see because you never know what this guy's going to do, but he always does something amazing in Royal Rumble matches. So that's definitely going to be something to look forward to say the least. Following that, you know, it was heavily rumored that they were going to debut the European Championship at TLC. They did not. Go ahead.
I forgot to mention that part on the page because I had to double check everything. When she posted it, she had hashtag Raw, so they might debut tonight. I'm sorry, I apologize.
All right, well, it's the United States Championship. Rusev defending against Jack Swagger, and this was just nothing different from what we've seen before out of these guys. You know, they would build up Jack Swagger, they would build up anybody going against Rusev, make them look strong, and then have them fall flat on their faces at the pay-per-view, and this was no different to that formula. I even love Arnold, who was a regular contributor to the Facebook page. He kind of also expressed his sentiments towards the usage of Rusev and the gimmick, saying, you know, enough is enough. And I kind of have to agree with Love Arnold's kind of sentiment with that, James, that enough is enough. I mean, we've seen, you build up Rusev. He's a monster heel. We get it. Can we start seeing something different out of him?
Your question brings up who can they build up to beat Rusev? Because really, you don't have anybody really to do it besides maybe Cena, but we all know that.
What about the rumors of Kurt Angle coming back to WWE?
Kurt Angle said to Vince Russo, and Vince Russo said on this show that he's resigning with TNA.
Oh, okay. All right, so the rumors of him coming to WWE were just rumors.
Yes.
Actually, right. He was in talks, but they weren't rumors. The rumors been.
Yeah, they were in talks of it, and Kurt Angle said he was that close, but he just decided to stay with TNA.
So yeah, that does bring up the interesting question as to who they would put against Rusev to have him actually take that first fall against. But anyway, it boils down to the final match, the TLC match, Dean Ambrose and Bray Wyatt. In my mind, this matchup had to be spectacular to save the show for me. Now, the matchup was excellent. There were a lot of crazy stuff they did because, you know, it's what we expected out of them. Dean Ambrose and Bray Wyatt, the two crazy guys in WWE right now. Now, was this matchup good enough to save the show for anybody? Rick, I'm going to ask you that. You know, do you believe that this matchup was good enough to save the whole show?
It was a great match to save the whole show, including all the really sour matches. You know, I can't go that far. I mean, there were some good other matches that kind of helped it along. So yeah, we talked about it on our show, HWR, Hardcore Wrestling Radio, about the one thing that I think could have made this match a little bit better is that the fact that TLC matches are usually, like ladder matches, something to fight for at the top. You climb the ladder to get something, and if this was for a title, it would have been that a little. It would have made that match so much better for me. And the fact that it's a pinfall, it's just kind of. I don't want to say lackluster because the match really wasn't lackluster, but it takes away from the TLC match itself. And I don't want to say, like I said, Ambrose and Wyatt had a phenomenal match. But I myself think a TLC match should always make it a ladder match with the tables, ladders, and chairs extra as bonuses. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, exactly. Exactly about that. Now, the finish of the match was a little bit of that holy SHIT moment because of the fact that it was Dean Ambrose attempting to use a television monitor that was underneath the ring. As somebody is continually messaging me, somebody needs to speak with me on Skype when we're done, so I've got something to look forward to after that. But anyway, back to what I was saying. It was Ambrose attempting to use a television monitor underneath the ring on Bray Wyatt. The whole thing sparks in his face. He's blinded and walks right into Sister Abigail, and Bray Wyatt picks up the win. That was probably the only moment last night, Lance, that actually made my jaw drop because that was something I haven't seen before from WWE.
Yeah, which to me, I think they're going to have Bray's going to come out tonight and say Sister Abigail helped him win the match last night. Because even after the show, me, Rick, and James were all like, that don't happen with regular TVs. The things just come out. So he's going to say, like, Sister Abigail caused the thing to blow up. But like what you and Rick were talking about, it would have been better to have them have like something hanging above the ring. Storyline wise, to make a perfect ladder match, perfect TLC match, Ambrose could just like been the crazy lunatic he is, stole the lantern, and they could have fought for that.
You know what? That actually makes sense. That actually makes sense, and it would fit the gimmick. But anyway, guys and gals, it's time to go to Facebook fan comments. Anytime we have a live show that we cover on the WGS-TV Facebook page, you guys and gals always have a chance to weigh in and send in your comments to be read out loud here on the review. I'm going to start off with, of course, our friend Love Arnold. He said he didn't watch it, and from what I have read, not worth wasting my time. Bring on the Royal Rumble. Plus, NXT isn't that good, so it must have been bad. You know what, Love Arnold? Again, I'm going to say it before, and I've said it again. Give NXT a shot. Because the Thursday night show, Takeover Our Evolution, was a great show. It was an amazing show. So give it a shot. Give it a chance. Michael Vincent Prince, said, it was awesome. Saw the return of Roman Reigns, John Cena winning again, and the Dean Ambrose versus Bray Wyatt match stole the show. Those two are on a path to take over the company in the very near future. Very interesting thought there, Michael. Isaac, well, it's a weird pronunciation for the last name. Brizella says NXT on it. Iki Not Levitt said, still waiting for the European Championship. Well, that might happen on Raw tonight. Chandler Rorick said, it was awesome, the best. Tony Rocco said, great pay-per-view. And Rick Ruffeld said, I wish someone would kick the Russian's ass. In the sense that he was probably thinking of Rusev. So, again, thank you very much to everyone who sent in their comments. And on that note, it's time to go into our picks for our overall scores and our picks for best and worst match of TLC this year. I'm going to say it again because I said it at the onset of this review. I said it at the preview. I'm going to say it again. TLC and the main roster, they needed to step up. They did not. They did not. By any stretch of the imagination, they did not they did not step up to the level that NXT Takeover Our Evolution was. Throughout the entire NXT show, there was an air of excitement, an air of anticipation for this match, for their show. TLC, I felt none of that. It just didn't feel like that type of a show to me. It was just typical WWE stuff. Now, Best match of the night is going to go to the TLC match. Dean Ambrose and Bray Wyatt, hands down, with an honorable mention to the ladder match. Worst match, I got to go to the Divas Championship match. Because for the love of God, call up Charlotte. Call up Sasha Banks. Call up Bayley, Becky Lynch. Call up all the entire NXT Diva roster to the main roster, because the current crop sucks. And I don't mean when they get on their knees. I mean they suck when it comes to being in the ring talent. It just, and I can't blame AJ Lee, because she would have to carry Nikki Bella. And the only reason why Nikki Bella is in her spot is because she's boning John Cena. That's all there is to it. If anyone's out there saying, "Oh, Nikki Bella has talent," no, the only time she has talent is in her 2 giant fake boobs that she has implanted in her. Other than that, nothing. She can't wrestle her way out of a paper bag. Put her against Jazz. Jazz would kill her. So, my overall score on TLC, it's going to be a 2.5 out of 5, guys. I'm sorry. It was just not that good of a show. And when we compare it to NXT, the NXT should be the main roster, and the main roster should be NXT. That's the way it looks, and that's the feel I get. Rick, let's go to you with your overall score and your picks for best and worst match of TLC.
Yeah, I pretty much have to agree with you that the the opening match and the main event match were the 2 best matches of the night. You know, I even have to give the tables match was a pretty decent match. They had some decent spots, so they were the saving grace of this pay-per-view, if you want to call it that. But the worst match tonight, you know what? The Divas, I'm even going to give them a pass. The worst one was the Rusev-Jack Swagger match, and I'm going to tell you why. Because if anybody who would watch their original feud, it's the exact same match. In the exact same sequence. It was ridiculous. What did WWE do? Just watch it. They might as well just say, "Okay, guys, we're not going to give you a break. You can go. The whole fans can go up and get something to drink, and while we do it, we're going to cut this out and just hit the replay button." It was boring. It's disgusted me. I can't even give that a score. That should get a minus score if you ask me. Yeah. Sorry. Overall, for the good matches, just the good matches alone, I'm going to give them a 2.0. All
right, let's go to Lance next. Get his overall score and his picks for best and worst match of TLC.
Well, overall, I'll give it a 2.5 because, like I've said before this show started, TLCS. Q, whatever the hell the rest of the letters were that James spatted off, was started out with a bang, had a massive fart, and ended with a bang. And best match, gotta go with the TLC match. Like y'all said, honorable mention to the ladder match. I'll give credit to the tables match as well, but like Rick said, the worst match has got to be live via satellite, Rusev versus Jack Swagger.
Yeah, again, that was a massive disappointment because I know they could have done something better with that, but they didn't. And finally, guys and gals, we're going to go to James and get his overall score and his picks for best and worst match of TLC.
TLC SSR HKST, yeah.
Rick, you better make him remember that for when y'all do y'all show this week.
I think we already did that in the moment.
Yes, we did a special edition of In the Moment last night, which is going to be airing up. And this week, of course, we're going to be doing our 2014 Slammies of the Year, year-end awards.
All right. Anyway. Overall score, 2.5 out of 5. As Rick said, I have to give the Divas match a pass because it's WWE creative. And the fact that, AJ can do a well good match, but it's Nikki Bella. what you expect. My worst match, I'm going to have to say actually the chairs match, because it bored the hell out of me, and it's just like, okay, it's chairs. The stairs match I give a pass because it's the first time ever. And I get to give the honorable mention to the US title. The best match has to be the TLC match. Ladder match, I give a tie.
Mm-hmm. Well, anyway, guys and gals, on that note, what we want to know now from you guys out there, the viewers and subscribers, your thoughts on TLC. What were your overall scores? What are your picks for best and worst match of TLC? Your reactions to the ending of the TLC match when Dean Ambrose had that TV blow up in his face. Your reactions to Dolph Ziggler regaining the Intercontinental Championship, and of course, your reactions to the return of Roman Reigns at TLC and helping John Cena win the tables match against Seth Rollins. Definitely want to know what you guys think. Definitely put your comments in the comment section below. Don't forget to like and favorite this video. Rick, where can fans check you out on HWR?
Well, of course, they can always check me out on my Facebook page. That's facebook.com/Hardcore Wrestling Radio. And anytime you want to check out any of our videos, check us out on YouTube, Daily Motion, and now catch a ride on SoundCloud. Just look us up on HWR Show.
And trust us, guys, SoundCloud is not the newest name for marijuana either. Anyway, Lance, where can fans expect to see when they come visit your channel over on youtube.com/LanceMossTV?
I got album reviews, NASCAR discussion videos, Redneck Going McKeon videos, musical equipment reviews, some rants, and starting at the beginning of next year, I will have the archives of controversies and scandals from Hardcore Wrestling Radio.
And ladies and gentlemen, last night during the TLC Divas Championship match, he was busy stealing the string from the top of Nikki Bella's top last night. It's James from the Big Easy. James, you got anything coming up on Twitch?
I was too busy refereeing that chairs match if you didn't see. Chairs match.
Of course, we realized later it wasn't for the string. It was the string from her tampon.
Anyway, I'm on twitch.tv/fatboy504. Rick, I'm gonna hurt you.
Somebody else gets the aggression. Yay!
I got PS4 gameplay on Twitch. I might go back to iVlog to do maybe a game show or two, but right now you just find me on this. I'm gonna do WWE 2K15 and whatnot.
If you're listening on SoundCloud and Spreaker right now, be sure you hit that follow button, guys and gals. And don't forget to follow me on Facebook, facebook.com/WGS-TV. And don't forget to please subscribe to youtube.com/WrestleGamer and youtube.com/ZFXTV Network if you haven't already. So for the hardcore host of Hardcore Wrestling Radio, Rick Head, the incomparable Lance Moss from Lance Moss TV, and James from the Big Easy, I'm the Wrestle Gamer. WB Willie Boudreaux saying thank you very much for watching.
Later, I need to do a rant on the Divas division.
You and me both, dude. You and me both.